I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I just stood in the doorway, staring at my childhood room. My walls stripped bare, my bed already pushed against the corner, my cousin's maternity bag sitting on my desk like I had never existed there. And my mother, smiling, smug. "You're 22. Grow up. She needs the space more than you. Grow up." That was her verdict after 22 years of loyalty, sacrifice, and silence. I nodded. Quiet, calm, because in that moment something inside me snapped, not in rage, but in clarity. That room wasn't just drywall and a bed, it was the last piece of me they hadn't already claimed. And now they were erasing me completely. So I smiled faintly, walked upstairs, and began folding clothes into my suitcase. I should explain, I was the invisible one in the family, the reliable one, the one who gave while others took. Babysitter, chauffeur, therapist, maid, whatever role they couldn't fill, I filled it. And every time I asked for a shred of recognition, I was told I was overreacting. My cousin, golden child since birth, got showered with love and protection. Pregnant at 20? She was brave. Dropped out of school? She was finding herself. Me? I had a degree, a job offer waiting, and a side business quietly growing online. But to them, I was still just the spare. So when my mom shoved my suitcase toward me and called it growing up, I realized she had no idea who she was talking to. That night I didn't sleep. I planned. See, the house wasn't really theirs, not entirely. It had been willed jointly to my mother, my aunt, and me by my late grandmother. They forgot to mention that little detail. But I knew. I had the documents. For years, they treated me like a tenant in my own home, blind to the fact that I was part owner. I kept quiet because ownership meant nothing while I still needed their roof. But that changed the moment they shoved me out. So I packed, not just my clothes, but every valuable I could claim. Antiques my grandmother had left specifically to me. The files, the jewelry, the paintings they never even noticed were insured under my name. And then I signed the papers I'd been sitting on for months, listing my share of the house for sale, to someone who wouldn't tolerate family squatters. Morning came. They woke up to an empty house, my room bare, my closet hollow, my drawers vacant. On the kitchen table, a letter in my handwriting waited. It wasn't long. Just one page. "Since I'm apparently grown up now, I'm moving out. The house you live in isn't yours alone. Grandma left a third to me. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Consider this my notice. I'm selling my share. Good luck explaining that to your new tenant. P.S. Every item with my name attached is gone. Don't bother looking. I already checked twice." The silence that followed was delicious. Voicemails piled up by noon. My mother's voice cracked with panic. My cousin crying in the background. My aunt screaming about betrayal. I didn't answer. Instead, I checked into a hotel. Slept better than I had in years. Booked a flight the next day to Spain. A solo trip I had dreamed of but always postponed because family needed me. Now, they could need themselves. Weeks passed. The house went into chaos. Realtors called. Inspections were scheduled. My mother begged me to reconsider, claimed I was tearing the family apart. My aunt accused me of greed. I let the lawyers handle it. Cold, professional, clean. Every time my phone buzzed with another plea, another insult, another guilt trip, I sat on a balcony in Barcelona, sipping espresso, watching the ocean, and smiled. Because for once, the weight wasn't on me. It was on them. The climax came fast. The buyer pushed through, unwilling to let extended relatives delay the deal. My mother and aunt scrambled, desperate to buy me out, but they couldn't afford my share at market price. They begged me to accept less. I refused. Calmly. "I'm grown up now," I told them. "I don't need charity." It stung. I knew it did. By the end of the month, they were forced to downsize, packing boxes, selling furniture, dragging my cousin's maternity bag into a smaller rental they hated. Me? I extended my trip. Madrid, Valencia, Seville. Every city tasted like justice. And when I finally returned, months later, I didn't go home. I went to my new apartment, bought outright with my share. Minimalist, clean, mine. The letter they left me the day I moved out still sits folded in my drawer. The one that said I was selfish, immature, ungrateful. Sometimes I read it just to laugh. Because they were right about one thing, I did grow up. I just grew up into someone they could never control again. Final thought? They thought they gave my room away. What they didn't realize is that I took the house with me when I left. And the freedom that followed? That was the real inheritance.